This is Mark Bianchi. I am the host of the Eye Care podcast, and welcome to it. It is presented by VisitClicks, a digital marketing agency. And with us today, we have Dr. Joe LaPlaca. And Dr. LaPlaca is from Aries Elite Sports Vision practice in the Indianapolis area. Welcome to the podcast, Dr. LaPlaca.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So
Good to be on.
you are in a very interesting niche in optometry, and it really caught my attention because a lot of times I talk to general optometrists, who do the general eye vision evaluations, but you're in a really unique space at Aries Elite Sport Vision. Can you tell us exactly what space you're in and why you got into it?
Yeah, so I work in elite level athletes, so how their eyes function, how they like the clarity of their vision, but also how their eyes move, how they combine information, how all of that information goes through their brain, how they process that, and then how that translates to their sport, right? There's a whole bunch that I think a lot of teams and individuals are missing when they just go to a general optometrist if they're an athlete. I think that there's so much more to the visual system that we're missing and we're not evaluating, and that's the space that we function in. So we look at what that looks like from a evaluation standpoint, but then we also have the ability to train that for the athletes as well, and that's been a huge thing for what this space is and what it should be and could be for the future.
Awesome. So did you play sports as a child?
Yeah, so growing up, I was really into soccer. I played soccer all the way up through high school. I played volleyball, basketball, wrestling. I'm a first degree black belt in Kikido. Like it was like everything was centered around sports. Like I just couldn't get enough. And that's kind of where my passion for all of this is. It's I enjoy sports. I enjoy optometry, and then I also really love technology and the speed and pace at which that moves and changes. And putting all three of those together was like that's like my dream. That's my passion. So I get to do that every single day in the practice. It's awesome.
Did you learn some of these techniques and apply them to what you do in sports? Is that how you got interested in sports vision?
Yeah. So when I was in school, so I got accepted to optometry school. I was in between like doing dental, um, chiropractic, or optometry because I didn't want to go the like traditional surgeon route and go to med school and do that whole path. So I was like, okay, well, what could I do that would be somewhere in that range? Um, but my sister actually got accepted to the Illinois College of Optometry the year before, and I went and visited her, and I was like, oh, this is actually really really cool. And I hadn't even thought about vision as a career path. So then those were like the three schools that I applied for, the three different types of schooling that I applied for, and then I went there and I was just fell in love with the campus, with the people, with the concept, like everything about it was awesome. And so when I was in school, I got accepted. I went to school and I got my first eye exam ever at like 23 years old. And I realized that that was a problem because I was an athlete growing up and I was like, I'd never had even just a general optometry eye exam because we always did like the cover one eye, cover the other. Can you see it? And everyone was like, oh, that's fine. And so like I was in school and I was like, if I got missed and like I'm fairly good functioning, who else is getting missed? And they're just going off of their raw physical talent. Like I was concerned that there was a whole population of people that we're just missing. We're just missing that there are problems that they have and we don't know it. And so in optometry school, I was just like, why is nobody looking at this? Why are they not evaluating this? And like all my teachers would tell me like, oh, it's like some people do evaluations on that, but they don't really like it doesn't really go anywhere. It's not a popular niche for a lot of people. And it wasn't very like revenue generating. Like it wasn't something you could sustain a business off of. Cause they're like, just generally athletes have really good vision. So they're not interested in doing anything additional. Right. So I kind of just took that at it as face value and I graduated, went to like corporate optometry and just, that's not for me. It wasn't for me. Like doing the same thing over and over, like the mindlessness of it, the one or two, like all of that was just not like filling my soul. And when I had my daughter in 2016, I like got really like I really did not enjoy going to work. Like it was the last thing I wanted to do. It's the first place I wanted to leave. Like it wasn't enjoyable, and I couldn't like look at her and tell her, "Go after your dreams. Go do the things that make you happy and passionate." I couldn't like do that in good faith and not be doing it myself. And so, um, that's kind of where all of that stemmed from was like I just I just didn't know that there was an option before when I went to school that like, oh, my vision could get better. And it was just shocking to me that I hadn't even considered looking at that, or my mom and dad hadn't considered looking at that for me as an athlete.
Did you find that, in your practice that there are a lot of, athletes that have the same problem that you had where they had never actually been in an actual vision evaluation, and now this is the first time they encounter that?
Like 40% of them. I would go do evaluations at like Division 1 colleges for the baseball team, and 40 to 35 to 40% of them had never had an eye exam before. Like this, like they'd, oh yeah, I did the screening, or I did the screening at school, or I did the medical screening at, when in screening day for when they do all their medicals, but they'd never had like a full eye exam. And I mean, that's a Division 1 team who play baseball, who like, it like blew my mind. And that's what I see consistently. I see consistently that kids are not getting their yearly even or their bi-yearly eye exams. And then there are kids that are coming in with like a +4 and a 5 in the left eye. And it's like your accommodative system is extremely taxed. And now you're expected to play this sport when you're adding on top of +5 prescription. Like there's no reason no wonder you're struggling, right? There's so many of those cases.
So with these athletes, have they noticed a difference? I would imagine there are probably some whose coaches pushed them towards your practice, and they thought, "Oh, I don't even know if this is going to work." Have they found success? Were they kind of surprised to see the difference?
Yeah. I think there's a couple really good cases that kind of stick out. There's um one IndyCar driver that we work with. He was very reluctant at first. Like coach, spotter, like all of those guys had to like kind of tell him like, hey, you're going to do this because this is going to be the best for you. And it wasn't necessarily the thing that he wanted to do. And I think the thing that I really like about what we do in our practice is that we get the ability to see them every single week, multiple times a week, so we can build a relationship with them, for them to understand that, hey, like we're gonna get to know each other, and I want to be a part of your success. Like my job here is to help you be better than you are right now, and like overcoming some of that like hesitancy and that like fear of wearing contacts, or the fear of like this, like I'm just wasting my time and not doing other things that I should be doing that I think are more important. We get to build that trust and show them over time how this actually helps them and makes them better for the long haul for them.
So the system that you have for them, is it a proprietary system that you created?
Yes and no. So there's other companies out there. There's companies like Synaptech. There's companies like Fitlight. I don't know if you've heard of like NeuroTracker and things like that. There's other companies out there doing like sports vision or like some tech within the sports vision space. But there's no like program. There's no like, if you have an athlete, this is the step by step by step by step how we do it, or why we do it, or the science behind it. But there's not like, that's not what they're selling. They're selling the equipment at the gym. They're not selling the CrossFit program for utilizing the gym, if that makes sense. And so I saw that as an opportunity to be like, okay, how do I use some of this different tech to actually make it a package, something that we can progressively build to make it harder and harder on the athlete, so that they are achieving results, and do it in a programmed, researched base style. Because I think that's another thing is like, if you go on Instagram and you see like sports vision, you'll see some people doing some stuff, but it's just it's just for show. Like, honestly, all of that stuff is just for show. They're trying to do these super complicated drills and they're trying to do all of this stuff, but they're not like tracking any metrics. There's no standardization. There's no like real meat behind it. And that's what I wanted to wholeheartedly avoid. Like the way that we do things is completely systematized and programmatized and custom for that patient specifically. And that's really hard to do, especially since we're tracking all of the data and the analytics, every single patient, every single drill. So that was a very conscious effort because like I was like, I can't do this if I'm just gonna be like, oh, based on your virgences, you're getting better. They don't want to hear that. They don't understand what any of that means. Am I getting faster? Am I getting better choice reaction time? Are all those things getting better that I care about? Great. That's what I'm paying you for.
It's like the slogan that you have for Aries Elite Sport Vision, milliseconds matter.
Milliseconds matter. Yep.
So that's what the athlete cares about is, especially if you're an IndyCar driver. I mean, that millisecond could save your life when you think about it.
Right. You know what's funny is that logo took me like 6 years to think of. Like it's super simple, it's super punchy, like, but it took me a long time to really figure out. Because if you're gonna just tell them that you're gonna make their vision clearer, they don't care about that. Like they're like, I can see fine, or they're okay. So maybe I'm getting a half a line better. They don't know what that meant. They don't understand the transition of that. So you can't call that sports vision, in my opinion.
Right.
Because
What
really we're working in the neurology. We're working in the brain to actually improve processing speed, and that takes time, but that's where all of the milliseconds are gained is actually neurologically and not see clearer, play better. Like, no, that's not what this is. And I think that it's been a hard struggle for me sometimes when people are like, "Oh yeah, I know somebody who does that or who does what you do." I'm like, "You don't."
No,
But
you don't.
the slogan actually woke me up from a dream. It was like an epiphany moment where like it was 3:34 in the morning and it like woke me up and I was like, "Ah, that's what this is. That's what it is." And it was like one of those like weird aha, like the universe sending me a signal saying that's what it is.
Yeah, you got to pay
So,
attention to those signals when you get them for sure. It
yeah.
makes all the difference. And you're doing it for the right reason too. You're helping athletes, perform better.
Yeah, just even like pursuing this as an option. It was one of those things that God, like, truly God laid on my heart. Like I'm a Christian in my walk, but I also want the best for everybody. Like if we break it all down, it's just like love. How do we love as many people the best way possible? And that's our only job. And that's what like my faith believes, and that's what I want to do with these athletes too. Is just like, hey, I'm just here to help you be the best version of yourself, and I think that that's something that maybe they don't get all the time too. I think that's something that like they're always like under such a pressure to perform, and like I'm just gonna try and be here and help you with all the stuff.
Yeah, I'm just here to take care
So
of you.
yeah,
You were talking about the brain. Do you do anything special for athletes that have had concussions? And does that affect their vision?
S- so that is a major component of why we do the hour and 15 long baseline, right? So preseason, we want to make sure everybody's coming in as frequently as possible for their yearly or even every. My opinion is every 6 months we should be doing full evaluations. But the main piece is the concussion piece, the baseline evaluation, because right now they do like impact testing, which is subpar in my opinion, or they do nothing in terms of their vision and cognitive, or if they're at a really high level, so if they're at IndyCar, they'll do some testing, but it's not a lot of neurological. It's neurologically based, but it's like they'll do it in the VR, and so like I just don't know how much they're actually getting there. And so when we run it, we take a look at everything from visual acuity to contrast to raw reaction time, raw visual speed of processing, choice reaction time, eye hand coordination. Like how do all of these things work together? And that takes an hour, hour and 15. And then we have something to come back to if they have a concussion, right? So this actually happened in the 500 where one of our drivers got into a wreck in practice, wasn't feeling great, and we went and did a evaluation on him just to check the things that we would want to check in the concussion evaluation, and everything was fine. Like, he was above his baseline, but had we not had those metrics, I wouldn't be able to give him the confidence that he's still functioning really, really well. And then that's a seed of doubt in his head as he's going into the one of the biggest races of his life, like the Indy 500. So those things, I think it's super important because vision is so impacted when we have a concussion. Like, that's 80% of what we see or what we perceive in the world comes through our vision, and most people aren't even looking at it yet.
So when an athlete comes in, what's the process that they go through when they start trying to get those milliseconds back?
Yeah. So we have two offices, and they're 10 feet by 10 feet, 10 feet long by 10 feet wide. It's a enclosed space where I'm only worried about like the head up and the arms out, like, kind of thing, where um, initially we'll run them through like 12 to 15 minutes of virtual reality training, but they're doing it in a way where I'm not sure if you're familiar with optics trainer or things like that. Yeah, so we don't do optics trainer. I don't do anything like that, like where we're basing it on like VT foundation stuff. I'm more worried about processing speeds, like how can we increase the reps of what they're doing and get the brain really warmed up and activated and actually firing, and how are they making decisions when they're in that high rep space. And so we'll do that 12 to 15 minutes to get them warmed up, and then we'll do like a cycle of different physical and mental activities within the space. And so we have a wall we've built out where it's standardized on this entire wall, and we have fit lights, which we've removed the backing and put like a magnetic piece on so we can easily move them across the wall. And we have them run reaction light drills, or so, like, just super simple, where if it's purple, you're just going as fast as you can. We're just working on raw reaction time. Whereas if we want to challenge like their choice decision time, they have to associate one color with one hand. So the right hand is red, the left hand is green, right? So every time they hit a red, they have to, go across their body. They're actually using that hand to make that decision as to which one is the indicator that they're leading to. And so we'll do 3 of those, one set of that drill, and then we'll do something on our 55-inch screen, touch screen, and different drill on there. And then we'll have them go back to the wall and back to the tablet or back to the screen. So it's actually like wide in your face, working on peripheral vision, working on how they're making decisions, working on how much information they can take in.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It's awesome. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
athletes love it. They leave dripping in sweat. Um, because it's a physical workout, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it really physical to match their, like, the way that their heart rate goes up and down. We're trying to make it so that it matches what they're used to and what they're able to do, and then we're adding the layers of cognitive drills on it.
Now, are there any simple visual drills or exercises that people can start doing now at home or on their own before they come see you? Is there anything they could do themselves to kind of get them ready and prepare them for coming into a specialist like you?
Yeah, so actually right now, on our website, we have a free week of vision drills. So a completely laid out program of reaction time drills or um, ball drills. So there's 12, 15 different drills in a free week. All you have to do is sign up with your email and run those drills. So that's an super easy way for people who want to like
Really?
explore it and just do low level stuff.
And they would do that on their computer at home or
Yep.
not on a
Yeah.
computer?
Computer, tablet, wherever.
Okay.
Yeah. And some of them are like eye hand coordination type drills where they'll just need a ball and then they just follow what the drill is, to try and keep in working in free space and working through um, how their visual system actually functions, but then also just some stuff on the computer where it's like raw reaction time or choice reaction time, or a couple other things there.
That sounds like fun. I'm gonna download that because, as you
Yeah.
can tell, I wear glasses, so my vision's not the best. So any millisecond I can gain is helpful for me as well as an older
Well,
man who doesn't play sports.
I think that's an important point too, though. Like, I think even you driving your car down the road, like, if you can be better at driving and be faster at a reaction time, you might save yourself from an accident. Like, all of this stuff matters in the grand scheme of things, and it's going to play out from a longevity standpoint too. I think where we should have been training our brains, like, that's going to be something that we're looking at. Where is this going to help Alzheimer's? Is this going to help Parkinson's? Is this going to help like some of these neurodegenerative diseases where where like just the status quo of like almost like retroactively treating it, where it's like, oh, we should have been preventively treating these things, because so then that stuff doesn't add up. And so I think that that's long goals is like a longevity study based on the analytics and the data that we've collected. I think that would be a really cool thing to look at from that standpoint.
And it would make my wife a lot happier. She's usually the passenger in that car.
Yeah, yeah.
If I had a dollar for every time she put nails into the dashboard,
Mm,
I'd have
yep,
a lot of money.
yep.
uh,
The side eyes from the wives.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That actually happened just the other day. I started turning left, and she's like, "Mark, there's a car coming right at us," and I'm like, "I saw it. We're good. We made it." And
Yeah.
of course, I didn't see it in that split second. So yeah, those kind of training the brain is really what it's more about. I love that. Where do you see this niche going in the next 5 to 10 years? Are there certain technologies or anything that you're really excited about that you see coming down the pike that maybe we're going to be doing in 2030, 2035? I mean, obviously, it kind of sounds like we're kind of like in our infancy here, in version one of this. Where do you see version two?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question. I mean, so the technology will change in the next 5 to 10 years. I'm just not sure if we leverage going into VR, or if there's an AR solution, so an augmented reality solution. Because so you see, like, Meta has the Meta glasses, and you see like Meta Quest has the VR as well. Like, they're different. They're really different in terms of like what their capabilities are, and especially from a vision standpoint. My guess is that if we can do the AR stuff correctly, I think that's more attractive to athletes than the VR is. Have you ever heard of a program called Win Reality?
I have not.
No. Okay, so it's like a virtual reality baseball. So like
Okay.
kids will take pitches and they'll have to swing. But the complaint that I hear a lot is like that's not how it looks from a baseball player's standpoint, or at least from a professional standpoint. So a lot of those guys don't use Win Reality because they're like, it just doesn't, it's not how it looks for us. Now, like, if you're an 11-year-old kid and you just want to get reps and you just want to see balls, and like, that's awesome. Like, that's great. I think that's a great use for the program. But if you're trying to use it as a professional baseball players training program, I think you're missing the mark. Right. But if we could figure out a way for AR to mimic the picture that they have coming up and what his ball looks like coming out at 60 feet, like, I think that could be really attractive to these guys. But I just don't think the technology is there yet. It might be in 5 years. Um,
I have no doubt with AI and everything that it's been able to do, AI will probably write that program and figure it out. I think we're at a point where it's just getting smarter and smarter and smarter. And I see that might even be before 5 years, before when we have something like that. You never know. It's just moving so fast. I can see
yep.
it really benefiting your niche here real soon.
Yeah. And I might be the one to write it. So we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. So, when you go out and you market your services, do you market them primarily to like sports directors and coaches, or do you go straight to the athlete? And how do you get them on board?
It's kind of both. We have more success when the team lead is on, and not necessarily the individual. Like, individual athletes will come and go. So that's a harder way to run a business, because like, you're constantly having to chase, right? You're like, I have to go after the individual athlete, versus if I go into a facility and I say, hey, this is an option for your athletes. We'd love to be a referral source for you when they need their yearly, you send them in. So what I've learned over the few years is like, I think it makes more sense for us to be a part of the team or the facility versus the individual athletes. And it makes it easier to like sustain those relationships too. Cause that's the thing that I care the most about is just the relationship between me and, the head coach or me and the the director of the program. Those are the things that I think are where I focus my energy because also like it's just for me personally, it's cool to have a really cool group of guys that like can give me insights on, why are they doing why is this happening in a pit stop or what am I looking at from an outsider standpoint to understand what are you trying to accomplish in this certain thing or what's the air jack guy looking at like they give me so much valuable insight that's really been like I've had my own personal tutors in all of these different sports to understand what they're doing better. So like investing in those relationships with the owners and the facilities and the teams is more important for me than the one-on-one, like going out and marketing individually to individual people. So it's like, well, why am I going to spend all this money on something I have never even heard of versus my friend told me he's doing this and he loves it and I trust my friend. So that's why they come in most of the time.
Word of mouth, it's still the best form of marketing, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah. And I
Yep.
think just doing a good job and being a good service is the reason that we're here, I think.
How can people find you? Website, social, everywhere else that you might be?
Yeah, so our website is just Ares, ARES, elitesportsvision.com.
Okay. That's
Um,
simple.
yeah. Socials are at Ares Elite Sports Vision 1. And then so that's for like Instagram. And then you can find me on LinkedIn or TikTok too. I mostly use TikTok for like just for fun. But we're doing some stuff on there. But we really got to figure out like what is the thing that people are looking at for that. Um,
Right. Like you
it's
said,
hard to fit
TikTok
in.
is all about
Yeah,
having fun, just get
yeah,
on there, be a
yeah,
little goofy, be a little fun, and it will resonate with people who have the TikTok app for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm really glad you joined the podcast today. I learned so much, and I'm definitely going to download those exercises for myself to help my driving. And I look forward to hearing more about what you're doing in the future because, like I said, this seems like we're just kind of beginning here in this niche, and I can't wait to see where it goes. And I'm going to watch sports in a whole new way now. I'm going to be watching athletes going, I wonder if they go to Dr. LaPlaca.
Yep. Yep.
Because it'll be neat to see some athletes get better and then just say, "Huh, they're in the Indianapolis area. I wonder."
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great, man.
very cool.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's always great for me to be able to like talk about what I do and why I'm passionate about it and what I see for the future of this space because I can't be building it all on my own. Like we need other good people to hop in and do some good work. So just good to be a resource. Appreciate it.
Great. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.